video, we will target 4 ways of making money. We'll also highlight some of the pros and cons for each one. Welcome to another Dose with Empire, where we share to elevate and inspire. My name is Mimi, and today we will be talking about 4 ways of making money. In this channel, we enjoy interviewing entrepreneurs on getting really the secrets of their secret sauce, the reason they pursue their passion and continue to do so every day. However, the more we talk about the passion for success and to involve the mental aspect, the emotional aspect, the physical aspect, the hard work they do every day, we cannot stay away from the financial aspect as well. As we continue to evolve with Empire and talk more about all of these things that make the perfect entrepreneur or the perfect way of building your empire, we have to talk about finances and money moves. So today we're gonna break down the 4 ways of making money as we continue to target money talks in this channel. In this video, we will target 4 ways of making money. We'll also highlight some of the pros and cons for each one. Once we are done, we'll expand on the idea of building a portfolio, why so many people are hustling these days, and why so many people have side hustles. Yes, more than ever, the growing numbers of our population is growing, it's making money move, have more than one job, building their empire. So this channel is to really highlight some of these things people are doing to build their own version of empire. So let's get started. The first way of making money is exchanging your time for money, where you either work a 9 to 5, or you can be a contractor, or where you basically working on a hourly rate. Now, obviously, the higher your skill is in demand, the more you can get paid. For example, a cashier, although this is an important position when you're dealing with customers, we're dealing with money. However, a doctor can save someone's life versus being a cashier. Yes, you could save someone's life as well, but it's not as a higher demand as a doctor, right? At least in 2023, that could change at any point. So the higher your skill is in demand, the more you could potentially get paid. So what is the pro of working a 9 to 5 or really exchanging your time for money? The pro is, as long as you work and you deliver results as promised within the time frame, you are gonna get paid. Yes, it's almost like this guarantee way of making money, which we have grown for ages to be comfortable in. It's a good position to be in when you can expect a salary, a yearly salary, if you just show up to work. Now, what is the con? If you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. Of course, there are exceptions. If you are on medical leave, you're still gonna get paid if you're not working, or if you are PTO, there are exceptions, and there will be exceptions for every one of the ways of making money we will be discussing today. However, I want to highlight the high points of each way of making money. Okay, what is the second way of making money? You're lending someone or an organization your money and you're getting it back with interest. For example, it can be buying CDs. A CD is a certificate of deposit that you buying from a bank, and when you do buy a CD, you get it back with interest. A bank is required to have certain amount in reserve. Let's just say about $10 million. So by federal law, although they can continuously give money away, loan money away, not give money away, they don't give money away, they're lending money, they are required by federal law to have some type of amount of fund in reserve. And let's just say that number is $10 million. That amount may vary based on the bank, right? So if the bank need to have certain amount in reserve, they need to have as much money from you, the public, other investors who are putting their money into their bank, and where it's just sitting there, and then they can say, hey, federal government, look, I have money sitting there in reserve, just like you asking me to, and they taking your money, putting in reserve, or maybe they're investing as well. But the bottom line is, you are giving the bank that money for a specific period of time, either for 3 years, for 5 years, for whatever time frame you agree to, and then they're saying, oh, we're gonna hold on to, let's just say, $500 for 5 years at a 3% interest rate. We're gonna return it back to you. You are compounding interest on that $500 every single day or every single month, depending on what type of city you picked. There are several type of cities out there. There are going to be a whole different video about cities, but the idea is you can invest money, lend the bank your money for a specific period of time, instead of having it sitting in a maybe deposit account or even a saving account where the interest rate is not as high. Now, what is the pro? The pro is you really not doing anything, especially if you didn't need that $500. You're like, okay, let me just lend someone that $500, and then in 5 years I'm gonna get it back with interest. Easy peasy, right? Now, there are some cons. The con is, if you need that money earlier, then you cannot take it. It's almost like you forfeiting that money for 5 years or 3 years, whatever the period of time you decided to choose. And if you have an emergency situation, you cannot access that money without any penalty. Let's just say you need that $500 in year 3 and you sign up for a 5-year contract. They're gonna probably charge you a percentage of maybe 10%, 20%, where instead of you getting it back with interest, you're losing some money. Okay, so what is the next way of making money? When you make dividend from profit, what is that exactly? Dividend from profit can be you running a business and you making profit from that business, then that can be considered dividend from profit. So let's just say you're an influencer, YouTube influencer or Instagram influencer. Your sole goal is to buy product, review them, like product that you use for yourself, review them, and now you're getting a commission of that product that you have reviewed. So any profit that you have made from that particular service can get you money. You can be like, wait, Mimi, isn't that you exchanging your time for money? Yes and no, because you may not spend a specific time frame. Many time organizations don't care if you're spending an hour explaining that product, or you're spending 15 minutes, or maybe you're spending 1 minute going on like, hey guys, I just bought this and you should definitely check it out. And if your followers are buying that product, and you just spoke about it for 1 minute and you got paid, I don't know, maybe $20,000 in commission just by talking about that product, can you really say that you're exchanging your time for money with this? Well, it depends, right? It depends. You can, like for me, I think when you are gaining dividend from profit, it's almost like you're running their own business as well. They are the rent. Another example is rental property. You already have the rental property where every month you're generating funds. Every month you have a rental fee that is coming to you. Those are considered profit after all your expenses paid for. Okay, so what is the pro? The pro is you have more control of your time versus the first one where you're exchanging your time for money. With the rental property, you can go do something else. As long as you set up a great system where the money is coming in, you can just go have a 9-to-5 as well if you really want to, or you can just stay home doing nothing because you're getting that income. So what is the con? Your audience is not always guaranteed to just go jump and buy the thing you just talked about, right? So even in a rental property, what if your tenant decided not to pay their rent for years, for months? Okay, not for years, that would be a little bit extreme. There are things we will be talking about in this channel about rental tenants and what to do and what I've done in the past. But yes, the idea is there are risks, and the con is if your tenant decide not to pay, you could start losing money now. Gain from capital assets. For example, let's just say you bought a Hermes bag, you love the Hermes bag, and you bought it for $10,000. After a year or so, you're like, oh, I don't like this Hermes bag anymore, or maybe I didn't use it enough. I thought it would go with my wardrobe more than I thought, and it didn't work out this way. So you can put it in the market, do some research, have it authenticated, whatever the case may be, and let's just say you ended up with $1,000 expenses of trying to put this thing in the market. Eventually you find a buyer, and a buyer buys it for $20,000. So that means your expense was about $1,000. The original asset valued at $10,000. It cost you $1,000, and you sold it for $20,000. So you made a profit for about $9,000. Ooh, that's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. So what is the pro? The pro is, yes, if you can have items around your house that you don't need, that's a great way of making money. And even if you can, you're selling product, and sometimes people, they buy items in bulk in so many different locations. DHgate is one location, and you sell it individually in Amazon or so many different websites out there. That's a great way of making money per unit. What is the con? The con is, what if you don't find a buyer? What if you hold on to that product for too long, and now you start losing, you paying interest on the amount that you purchased that amount from? There are so many ways you could potentially lose money with capital gains. What if the value of the item is much less now that you used it? Even if you buying it, let's just say you did buy it, it's brand new. What if the value of that product altogether lessened? Then now you have to sell it because you don't want to hold on to it. So now you're losing money. It's not even capital gain anymore if the item is not valued the same way. What if you cannot find a buyer? What if you cannot find a targeted audience? Then you could potentially be losing money there. Next, we will be talking about what I've learned utilizing those 4 ways of making money that really forces me to not only build my portfolio using those 4 ways of making money, but not only utilizing 1, 2, or 3, or 4, but to understand what is the value of money, what is the purpose of money, how this plays a part in my daily schedule, in my daily lives, and how you, as someone who probably want to build their empires, what you can do as well. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I will see you in the next one.